Hi, welcome to my channel. Today's video, reality reflecting your inner state. Reality, so the outside is always reflecting the inside. So your dominant inner state is what you are seeing reflected back to you, because this is how reality appears to work. And it can't do the opposite. So if you are feeling second best, if you are feeling angry at other people a lot of the time, then reality is going to reflect back what you're feeling. So an example here of, let's say that a lot of the time you are irritated with what is going on in the world, you're irritated with people aren't living up to your expectations, you are feeling irritated and angry at people, at life in general, but a lot of the time at people. Now you are going to find a reality reflected back to you that gives you more and more reasons to be angry at people, to be cross at people, to be livid at people, and it is going to inconvenience you. A lot of these things that are going to happen to you will really inconvenience your day-to-day life, because that is your dominant feeling state, is one of annoyance, irritation, anger, mostly focused on people doing certain things in the world. Could be friends, could be anything. But if your dominant state is that, your reality is going to constantly reflect back to you that state. So a few weeks ago, I came downstairs, I felt really irritable, and I didn't know why, I just really did. I opened the fridge and this pot of yogurt did a hop, skip and a jump out of the fridge. I don't know how it happened, and that's what it seemed to do to me. It was like it was at the back and it just hop, skipped and jumped to the front to splat on the floor, because I was in not a good mood. I don't know where it had come from. Maybe it had a bad dream. I don't know. I didn't remember it if it was a bad dream. I felt really annoyed, and it went all over the floor. And in that moment, I just stared at it and I thought, no, you will not get mad. You will not get annoyed. You will just clear this up, because if you do get mad and annoyed, it's going to have a domino effect and your whole day is going to be crap. And I know that for a fact. That was what would happen. There'd just be more things to inconvenience me, more things to make me cross. So I cleaned up the yogurt, which took me about 20 minutes because it went absolutely everywhere, splattered on every part of the kitchen floor. And then I thought, what's a positive to come from that? And I looked at the floor and I thought, my floor has just had a really good clean, and it needed it. It is really clean. So I'm good with that. And then I smiled to myself, and then I made my breakfast and I went in and I thought, forget about it, it's done. And I allowed that state to go. I allowed that state to pass through me, and I was absolutely fine, and my day went on well from that point. But if I had not taken charge of that and allowed that anger to take a hold of me, then it would have got worse and worse and worse. I see it happening with other people all of the time. And I'll see it happening with Jeremy if he'll get really annoyed with somebody, a client or something like that, and he'll be having a bit of a rant. And I'm saying to him, calm down, stop it, because this is just going to go on and on and on. And I am able to say those things to him. I wouldn't say it to anybody else, but I am able to say that to him, and he kind of knows it, and sometimes he can rein it back and sometimes he can't. And then it goes on all day if he doesn't. So your dominant feeling state is going to reflect back to you. So if you constantly feel that you're not, people aren't showing you your worth, you're feeling, not feeling worthless as such, but you're feeling that nobody recognises your worth, then nobody is going to recognise your worth. You are going to find at work, people don't appreciate you. You are going to find that, say, your specific person doesn't appreciate you, is valuing other people over you, is putting other people first over you. That is all the sort of stuff that's going to show back to you, because it has to, because this is an algorithm. This is the way I see it, as a one big giant quantum computer, and you have, the algorithm reads your feelings just like the Google search or the YouTube search. You stick in a search for a certain video and lots of related stuff gets shown back to you. That's what's happening here. You have a dominant feeling state on a certain subject, so lots of related things get shown back to you. You could conjure up a feeling of something exactly as, and then you'd get exactly that thing shown back to you, which I've done on several occasions in the past, and I know how to control that now, but that's a whole nother video. I think I will talk about that in another video actually. But that is what's going on. So the more you are feeling something, the more reality has to show that back to you, because that is its design. Who knows what's going on? Who knows why? But that is what is going on here. Whatever you believe it is, and it can be whatever you think it is. If it's God, if it's quantum, if it's the universe, if it's source, it doesn't matter, does it? Because it's all the same thing. Whatever you think it is, it's working in the same way, regardless of what it is to you. So I have big respect for whatever people think. I talk to people that are religious and think it's God. I talk to people that are very scientific and think of it as quantum. It doesn't matter. It's working in the same way, whatever. And it's whatever it is to you is what's important, not what it is to me. But regardless of that, your dominant feeling state is going to reflect back to you. So become aware of it and match it up with what's going on in your reality. Think of your career and think, how do I feel about that? What's dominantly in there around that? Okay, is that what's showing up to me? Yes, it is. What about relationships? What's my dominant feeling around relationships? Maybe a specific relationship or every relationship. Is that what's showing back to me? Yes, it will be. But you have to be honest with yourself, and that's the key here. Sometimes we aren't honest with ourselves because we think. So if you feel good, if you're wanting to manifest something, and the majority of the time you feel you're feeling good about it and you're feeling positive about it, that's good, but that's not necessarily a feeling state as such. You can have a state around relationships in general that doesn't actually reflect what you're trying to do. It's actually the opposite of what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to manifest a specific person, let's take out trying, because trying doesn't work. You want to manifest a specific person, and you're feeling good about manifesting them, and you're feeling quite relaxed about it, but then you look at how you feel about relationships in general, about how people are with you or how this particular person is with you normally. Does it match up with that good feeling? Because that is the key here. If that is in there, that is a state. So you want to look at that and think, and go back to my video where I talk about recreating you. So not recreating them, recreating you. How can you recreate yourself as the person that does align with them? How does the person that you are now, really internally align with being in a relationship with this person? And if it doesn't, then you want to look at that, aligning that. So have a look at, I'll link to that video because I don't want to confuse this video with something completely different, but that's what is going on here. Your inner state is showing back to you. It is as simple as that. And if you take it back to it being as simple as that, so call it the law of attraction, call it the law of assumption, call it whatever you like, that's what's going on regardless. So if you can look at that and be mindful of what is going on inside of you without being control freaky about it, be mindful of it, notice it, become aware of it in like an observer kind of way, as in you're a third party and you're observing it and you're thinking, oh, so observe it with interest. And don't freak out about it. Do not freak out, because nothing is permanent in this world, in this life. Everything is temporary. So states are temporary. States can be as temporary or as long lasting as you allow them to be. So if you notice a state and you think, oh, I don't want that anymore, this is the state I want, then you intend for that new state. So that new state becomes your intention rather than that thing becoming your intention. Right, I'm going to leave it there because I know that this could get really complicated. I don't want to make it complicated because it really isn't. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd love for you to do that. I am an author and I am a coach. So all my coaching is available on my website. Lots of different packages on there now, including a relationship package. By popular demand, people have been asking me for such a long time to put some packages on there, and I had to, because it took me time to come away and think about that. I've kind of been putting it off, but I've done it now. It's done. I think they're reasonably priced. They're competitively priced, not ridiculous money. So go ahead, have a look and see what you think. And if you just want to ask me a few questions, then do feel free to email me. I'm always happy to answer queries via email. Thanks for watching.